Imagine taking the throne while your father's body is still warm on the battlefield. No ceremony, no time to grieve. Just chaos and thousands watching for weakness. This is how Bayezid's story begins. Not with a crown, but with a test. And what he did next earned him a name history would never forget. Yildirim. Thought. When Sultan Murad I fell in Kosovo in 1389, the Ottoman army did not stop. The drums kept beating. The soldiers kept moving. And somewhere in that storm of steel and dust, Bayezid made the fastest decision of his life. He claimed the throne immediately. He eliminated his brother to prevent civil war. No hesitation, no debate, no mercy. It was brutal, but it was effective. And in that moment, everyone understood something dangerous. This new sultan would not rule like his father. He would move faster, strike harder, and wait for no one. Bayezid did not inherit a peaceful empire. He inherited tension, rebellion, fear. His borders were unstable. His nobles were uncertain. His enemies were watching closely. Many believed the Ottomans would weaken after Murad's death. Many believed Bayezid was too young, too aggressive, too untested. They would be wrong. Bayezid ruled with speed that felt unnatural. While other rulers planned slowly, he moved instantly. While others debated, he attacked. While others negotiated, he conquered. He did not give his enemies time to breathe. That was his greatest weapon. Within months, he began consolidating power across Anatolia. Turkish beyliks that once acted independently were crushed or absorbed. Some surrendered, others resisted and disappeared. Bayezid believed in unity through force. To him, divided lands were vulnerable lands. And then he turned his eyes west. Europe had not forgotten Kosovo. They believed they still had time. They were wrong again. Bayezid pushed deeper into the Balkans with terrifying efficiency. Cities fell, fortresses surrendered, kingdoms paid tribute. His army did not move like a medieval force. It moved like a storm. Fast, focused, unstoppable. This is how he earned his name, Yildirim, the Thunderbolt. But speed has a price. Bayezid ruled like a man racing against fate. He did not pause. He did not rest. He did not reflect. His empire expanded so quickly that even his own administrators struggled to keep up. Laws were written after conquest. Order followed chaos. Control followed fear. He surrounded himself with loyal commanders, many trained under the Janissary system his father had strengthened. These were not emotional warriors. They were professionals. They obeyed instantly. They fought without hesitation. And Bayezid loved that. He trusted systems more than people, trusted speed more than caution. Soon he stood before the greatest prize in the region, Constantinople, the ancient capital of empires, the city that had resisted countless invaders. The symbol of Christian power in the East, Bayezid did not see a symbol. He saw a target. He surrounded it, blockaded it, starved it. The city trembled. For the first time in centuries, Constantinople felt its end approaching. Europe panicked. A massive crusade was formed to stop him. Knights from France, Hungary, Germany, and beyond marched east, believing they would crush the Ottomans and become legends. Bayezid met them at Nicopolis in 1396. What happened next was not a battle. It was a lesson. The European knights charged with pride. They believed bravery could defeat discipline. They were wrong. Bayezid waited. He trapped them. He destroyed them. It was one of the worst defeats crusading Europe had ever faced. Kings were captured, nobles were humiliated, survivors ran. Bayezid became a nightmare across the continent. He was no longer just a ruler. He was a warning. And yet, inside his empire, cracks were forming. Bayezid moved too fast. He demanded too much. Crushed traditions. He ignored advice. Old Turkish nobles resented him. Religious scholars questioned him. Local rulers feared him. Fear was exactly what Bayezid wanted. He believed loyalty was created by pressure. He believed hesitation was weakness. He believed mercy invited rebellion, so he did not show mercy. His empire grew, but so did his enemies. Far to the east, another ruler was rising. A man who believed he was chosen by destiny. A conqueror who had already destroyed kingdoms and cities. A warlord whose name would echo through nightmares. Timur, also known as Tamerlane. Timur did not fear Bayezid. He challenged him. At first it was words, letters filled with insults, threats, and pride. Each man believed himself chosen by history. Each man believed the other was unworthy. Bayezid ignored the warnings. He should not have. Timur was not like his other enemies. He did not rush. He planned, waited, he studied, he gathered strength. Bayezid continued conquering, unaware that he was walking into a storm far greater than his own. In 1402, the two forces met near Ankara. Bayezid believed he would win through speed. Timur believed he would win through patience. What followed was not just a battle. It was a collapse. Timur used deception. He cut Bayezid's supply lines, turned allies against him. He exhausted his army. And when Bayezid finally attacked, his forces were already breaking. The Thunderbolt was slowed. And for the first time, Bayezid felt something unfamiliar. Fear. He fought. He resisted. But fate had caught up with him. Bayezid was captured. The unstoppable Sultan, the terror of Europe. The man who nearly took Constantinople is now a prisoner. Legends say he was kept in a cage. Historians debate this. But what is certain is that he was humiliated, displayed, and broken. His empire began to collapse the moment he was taken. Sons fought sons. Brothers fought brothers. Governors declared independence. The system he had forced together now shattered. Bayezid, who had believed speed solved everything, had built an empire that could not survive without him. And that was his tragedy. He died in captivity in 1403. Some say from illness, some say from despair, some say from a broken heart. Whatever the cause, his fall was complete. From thunderbolt to prisoner, from conqueror to memory. Yet history does not treat Bayezid as a failure, because he changed everything. He proved the Ottomans could defeat Europe. He proved Constantinople was vulnerable. He proved speed could be a weapon. But he also proved something darker, that power without balance destroys itself. Bayezid rose like lightning. And like lightning, he burned fast. Reminds us that ambition can build empires, but it can also blind those who wield it. If Bayezid had slowed down, history might have looked very different. But he did not, and that is why we still remember him. Not as a cautious ruler, not as a gentle king, no, but as a force. So here's the question. Is it better to burn brightly for a short time, or to glow quietly for centuries? Bayezid chose lightning, and lightning always falls. If this story made you think, comment below what you believe true power really is. Share this with someone who loves forgotten history. Subscribe to Echoes of Times.